advice would you have for young men that are feeling a little lost in the modern world?
Well, you have to be comfortable with who you are and with your masculinity. So the word masculine has now got like this negative connotation around it, which is terrible because you're a young man. It's not every young man. Some men don't feel this way. But a lot of young men, I remember myself, you've got this testosterone that's roaring through you. You're competitive. You're ambitious. You have goals. You have this energy. And you want to assert yourself. But it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. You're not supposed to be like that, you know? And so, and the culture isn't about, there's no virtue in masculinity. Okay, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, most definitely. But there are virtues in being masculine, and they have to be redefined. And we have to have icons and role models for that. And so when I was growing up, oh God, I sound like, I hated that when people said that when I was a kid. So I know you're going to hate me, but I'll say that. Anyway, I can't help it because it's true. When I was growing up, you know, I watched like a lot of Westerns. You know, it was the silent hero kind of thing, the Gary Cooper thing. But my idea of masculinity growing up was a man who was in control of himself, who wasn't mean, wasn't pushing people around, who was decent, who treated women well. So treating women well is a masculine virtue, is a good thing. It comes from a position of strength. You're not insecure about your masculinity. You don't have to prove that you're a man by demeaning women, by pushing them around, by calling them whores and bitches, etc.
The way that we look at masculinity right now is completely wrong. There's masculinity and then there's toxic masculinity. And a lot of times we get those mixed up and intertwined, and we're fooled to think we know exactly what that is. Like, so many people are looking online and they're looking at examples of what they think is masculine. Treating women with respect, right? Not like bragging or boasting and talking about every single thing that you have. A lot of times now men look at women that they're getting more money and more popularity, and they look at that as like a threat. So they treat women a certain way, thinking it's a masculine trait. If you don't do this or you don't do that, you're not getting no part of what I offer. But it's because we're looking at a small sample size of people online and what they're saying, how they're saying you're supposed to be. But a lot of times those guys don't even have girlfriends. They don't even have wives. How many times have we seen people? I can think of some very popular people on YouTube that talk about certain masculine traits, and come to find out they're doing the complete opposite. Having kids with these women that they say that they would never have kids with. They're disrespecting them or beating on them or whatever it is. Bro, that is actually weak. That's not masculine. Masculine is being able to have self-control. You're in tune with your emotions. That doesn't mean you're soft, but you just know how to express yourself. You're kind and nice and gentle to women because women are feminine. That's how they are. Women are supposed to be soft. And if you have the right masculine energy and you treat them right, they're going to be feminine towards you. That's how it works. But we got it all mixed up. So he's 100% right. Let's continue back with that.
Andrew Tate path in life.
Andrew Tate.
You can respect women, and respecting them is a sign of your strength, is a sign of being secure in your masculinity.
I was just saying
that. You don't need to put other people down to make yourself feel better. Okay, so we have to redefine these qualities, but there are no icons like out there. You either have the Andrew Tates out of there, or you have these wimpy men who are just so afraid of being masculine.
Just point out, he straight called Andrew Tate wimpy, in my opinion. Let me know if you think he was directly doing shots at Andrew Tate, but he's basically saying like, now we have examples of that. But you see what that man is going through, right?
Your aggression, your assertiveness, your testosterone, it's a good thing. It's how things get done. It's what energizes you, what puts you in the world. What makes you ambitious, what makes you assert yourself and motivate yourself. It has to be channeled. It has to be disciplined. But you have to see, you know, we were talking about our people-pleasing things and how you reframe it. You have to see who you are and see the virtue in it and see the power in that. And it's a cultural problem because men are very confused. I didn't have that confusion when I was growing up. So now it's very difficult because you're being told that all these things that you feel naturally are negative. They're only negative if you can't control them. Self-control is a very masculine quality. You're able to control yourself. You're able to control your passions. You're able to not talk too much if you don't need to talk too much. I'm not saying that women don't have, that the opposite is wrong. These are things that men naturally have because of their biology. And I'm sorry, I do believe in these things. But they're good. They're just how you use them that can be bad. And so I just wish there were more positive role models out there. I know I'm very competitive. When I play games, I like to win. And I can be a little bit mean about it. Okay? I mean, I'm a pleaser, but I like winning.
Exactly.
I channeled it, all of my aggression, all of that testosterone. I'm not saying I have more than anyone. I just have normal amounts. I poured it into my books. I poured that edge, that aggression, that like, damn you, I don't really like you. I don't like the world, into the 48 laws of power.
That's a good point.
Here's how these is how people manipulate. These are how people can be bad and cruel. And when I'm going to get at all my aggression by exposing it and showing it and being as real and direct, I channel it into something as opposed to hurting other people kind of thing.
They always say that a hurt person hurts other people. A hurt person is someone who's quick to point fingers at somebody else. A hurt man is very quick to judge and talk bad about other people to mask what they're feeling inside. He's saying that a real man is able to challenge their emotions. They're able to challenge who they are. They're okay with who they are. They can control how they're feeling and channel that and put it into something else. He's right. Like a lot of times men would be upset at whatever happened. They would, go through some bad experiences and they would put that pain and anger, they would put it into something positive. Like music, for example, artists would go through things and they would put their pain and everything into the music to affect positive change. Now you see it's the complete opposite. It's I'm way better than you. You're nowhere close to on my level. So I'm going to put you down because how I feel about myself really in the inside. And that's weak, bro. That's really, really weak. There's no real role models that we can look at to say, hey, like, that's the definition of what a real masculine man is. And we need masculine men because we need to be able to raise these boys to be masculine at the same time. So if you have men that are being toxic and they're teaching their young men, their sons, to be toxic as well, we just have a whole bunch of hurt and weak men running around. And then we got the things that we got going on now on the internet thinking that that's masculine. We got to wake up, man, and know the difference. Because if we don't wake up and know the difference, it's going to keep going downhill from where it is now.
Finding ways to channel your aggressive tendencies is a positive way of being a man. You have to find whatever that is. Sports is a great example, but there are other things as well.
It feels a lot like alchemy in a way. Or actually alchemy is taking something which is bad or useless and turning it into something which is valuable.
Something good.
This is taking something which is uncertain. It could go either way. This desire for mastery, for conquer, for achievement, and using it to propel you forward and hopefully making the world a better place. There's no reason that your desire to pursue and conquer and become masterful in a thing has to leave the world worse. It's not some weird zero-sum thing where in order for you to become better, you need to take from the world. I think it's additive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to be smart and you have to be in control of yourself and you have to be disciplined. But let's just add discipline to one of those other masculine virtues. It just needs to be redefined. We need people out there, men and even women who feel comfortable with this.
Yeah,
saying
for
these are the virtues. These are the good sides of being a man and being masculine. And so even mastering things and even being competitive is not bad.
It's not.
You build a business that kicks ass, that does really well, that gives people certain things that they needed or they wanted. So it's just a matter of how you channel that energy and how you control it. And what the virtues are is self-control, not feeling like you have to put people down in order to raise yourself up, feeling confident, not having to boast. A terrible toxic masculinity quality is boasting and saying, look how much money I have, look how much women I've slept with, look at all this other thing. You're just talking. It's just a lot of hot air.
A lot of smoke.
That's not strong. That's actually
weak. Definitely weak.
So many powerful qualities actually come from a position of great weakness and insecurity. When I look at leaders who are always like boasting and talking about, how the great things that they've done, I see a little insecure, little weak child having to say these things, right? So it just depends on whether it comes from something solid and strong, or it comes from massive wells of insecurity.
Being able to control those emotions, control that anger, and put it into something that's positive for the world to benefit from it, that's the true definition of being masculine. Taking care of people that you're supposed to take care of, that's a great definition of being masculine. Not putting people down, not putting women down, not thinking everybody's beneath you, because that's not how it works. We got to stop with this facade and thinking that everything that we see online from these people, that these so-called gurus that are telling us is the right way, because it's not the right way. We need to get back on track to the true definition of what masculinity really is. A mentor of mine told me, man, the quickest way to get things that you want out of life, or get the women that you want out of your life, or to truly be masculine, is to work on yourself. You work on yourself, you'll attract all those things that you want. So if you're not working on yourself and you're not trying to get better, don't mistake treating people bad and bragging and boasting for being masculine. You're really just being weak, bro. You got to step your game up.